Welcome, everybody, to another episode of Inside Scoop with Alex and Jeff. I'm Alex Dingman.
I'm Jeff Doss. Let's do this, guys. We have a great show lined up for you all. And as you can tell, we have two special guests, two amazing martial artists, two amazing coaches, two amazing promoters, Don and Christine Rodrigues. Welcome, guys. Thank you for coming on.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Awesome. So, obviously, we got a big, let's see, what do we got, 6 weeks or 2 months? What are we looking at now?
Oh, God.
I know, right?
I'll say 6 weeks.
Yeah, we're inside of 2 months.
Yeah, it's right inside 2 months for the Ocean State Grand Nationals. Yeah, and as a promoter, it's like when it gets in that 2 month frame, you're like, oh God, like that's all it's all you're thinking about, and it should be good dreams. Sometimes it's nightmares, but it's just one of those things, right?
Oh, yeah.
Well, there's a lot of things that a lot of people don't know that goes on that we have to do and make sure it's done, But that's what it is, running a tournament. Anybody that's running a big national tournament goes through the same thing. So they all know what we're talking about. You know what I mean?
Yes,
but,
sir.
And Jeff, just a quick correction. It's March 31st, April 1st, and 2nd.
Got it. Thank you.
Perfect.
Yep.
Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
I got to work on the
Well,
on my calendar.
you know what? Let's lean into what it was that you guys were just talking about. When it's like the week of the tournament and you're like having those nightmares from the promoter side, because so few of us really understand what that's like. What is that like? What is the tournament that happens? I don't know if it's a tournament. I have no idea. I've never been a promoter.
Yeah.
There's a lot of last minute people out there. So it's, you wish you could tell everyone, can you ask me those questions like 6 weeks or 8 weeks before time, instead of, it just seems like everyone asks you the same question, like any questions or problems are always like the week of, and it's just condensed. So you try and get everything done before that last week.
Well, one of the biggest things that becomes an issue most of the time is room availability.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Hotel room availability, And we always try to get it, but we have the entire hotel pretty much booked out. But as of this afternoon, we already had 353 room nights already booked.
Wow.
You know what I mean?
So, big deal.
Yeah, they're going quickly. We just need people who are seriously thinking of going to do it. Now, I got other backup hotels that are only 5 minutes away. And the rate's the same thing. They're going to be very reasonable, but everybody wants to stay at the main hotel. You know what I mean? And I don't blame them. But that's one of our biggest things, And of course, the week of the tournament, who's canceling because they broke a toe or whatever the case may be, you know what I mean?
Right.
And so forth and so on, So
That's right. Yeah, I mean, and of course, as we say that, it's making sure all your rings are filled with judges. That's always the thing. And you have a plan. And as much as you have a plan, like we said, that week or two before is when you just have to put on your best. I don't know. I wouldn't even say promoter hat. I call it like an event producer, because that's what you're doing. You know what I mean? You're producing something. You're a director. You got to change this, change that. You are doing all kinds of things. You're not just promoting, you know what I mean? You're not just outside putting flyers out and telling, all right, come to this event. You're doing a lot more than that. So, but
plus we got television there too this year, like we did last year.
Yes.
We have it produced for the CW channel over here, and it was on the entire month of May. It was on every Saturday at 11 o'clock. It was
Get out.
Yeah. And we had 4 shows on there, and it was spectacular. At the end of the thing, they said it was the best response they got for that time slot. You know what I mean? So
that's great.
Wow.
We're doing it again this year. Same thing. You know what I mean?
Right.
So this is all.
Why do you think, of all things that could be on a Saturday morning, why do you think that Ocean State Grand Nationals had the best response?
It's something different. You know what I mean? When you look at the talent that you had on on the show between the forms, the weapons, the fighters, and everybody else there. I mean, we put some solid shows together. You know what I mean? So when they looked at it, I think some people saw stuff that they probably never seen before. You know what I mean? So that's the exciting part about it. The good thing too was that they put a lot of commercials advertising the events that what is going to be coming on. You know what I mean? So that's the other thing too. If people don't know what's going to be on, they're not going to be able to see it. You know what I mean? And I explained that to them. So we wanted to make sure we had enough commercial time before the time for each show and so forth. You know, came out very positive.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I just saw a hello from a sponsor and student there, Anthony. Hello.
Yes.
I think the show was well divided between the 4 different weeks as well, because we had different forms competition on each show, and we had an exciting fight or fights, because we had, not only did we have like the women's and the men's fighting grands on stage, but we also had the open weight, and then we had the super fights. So, you know, out of the 4 episodes, we had some really talented forms divisions plus fighting on every single episode.
So we have 4 episodes of last year's. That's pretty cool.
That's awesome. And so are we looking hopefully to have at least 4 again this year? Yeah. Awesome. Great. And where does, so that CW, that's in the Rhode Island, or is that all the Northeast kind of area?
Yeah, it's mostly, you know, up in southern Massachusetts, in areas of Rhode Island, and some parts of northern Connecticut. You know.
Okay.
What I mean?
Awesome.
So it's a good variety there.
Good. Yeah, that's great. That's great, and a great response. And that's, you know, that's where it starts, is with that, with in your area, and then we go from there, right?
That's it. Well, you know, at some point we wanted to start this, and hopefully someday, you never know, maybe we can get it on a bigger basis. You know what I mean? On the CW network. You know?
Yes, sir.
So this is a good start anyways. You know what I mean?
So what are some
other
of the
tournaments tried something like this?
Sorry?
Have other tournaments tried something like this on a local TV?
You know, I gotta tell you, Alex, I can't speak for the other people because I don't know. You know what I mean?
I think
it's an awful undertaking. It really is. You know what I mean? Yeah. But it's very good. Good when it's done. You know.
Yeah. I think AmeriKick did with something with Comcast.
Right, they did. They did a good job with that.
Yeah, they did. And actually, I even remember you guys doing stuff with this years ago when I was coming to. I felt like you guys did some local TV stuff.
We did.
Years ago in the 90s. Yep. So awesome. So what are some big things to look forward to? I know let's explain the super fights. That's where, you know, and we talked last week how you guys, big up to you guys for putting out what you're going to give, putting out early, you know, 3 months in advance, what the cash prize is going to be, how it's all set up, organized. That way the competitors know we're not thinking, okay, are we getting last year's money? Are we going to get something new? Are we going to get pre-COVID? Who knows what's going on? You know, this is what we got to applaud you guys for doing. So thank you so much for that.
Yes. Well, we're excited and you know, very thankful to have a couple great sponsors that, you know, with the sponsorship money, we want to give it straight back to the competitors. And you know, that men's super fights with Ocean State Collision Center and the Zangari family sponsoring that's going to be really exciting, because it's not only big prize money for that first place, but it's 1st through 8th place. So
that's huge. That's huge. We hadn't seen that in years, right?
Yeah. Maybe ever. Repeat that.
1st through 8th place get prize money.
Yeah. It's we have 4th through 8th place. I mean, actually, 5th through 8th place get $250 each. Okay, and then the 2 3rd place winners get $750 each. The 2nd place winner gets $1,500, and the one that wins the whole thing gets $3,500.
Okay, beautiful. This is blowing my mind. This is nothing like this happens.
Right.
Okay, so let's rewind. We're gonna have to, Jeff, I'm sorry. We're gonna have to stay on this for a minute.
Oh, I know.
So this is for the super fights.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So our champion, so it's gonna be somebody. is
Right.
leaving with $3,500.
That's correct.
That alone right there, that's enough. Okay. But we got
But
some
then they
good
could also-
sponsors, you say.
I'm sorry.
But you say we got some good sponsors.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it doesn't end there. So second, all the way down through 8th.
All the way to the
So this is a big deal. So
Yeah.
we should, man, people should just be at. I mean, Ocha State had a pretty good tournament last year. It seemed like if you were a top competitor and you could be there, you were there. I mean, with news like this, if you don't already have your flight booked, book it. You just got to book it now.
Right.
My
Exactly. exactly.
I've
And then
never
they-
heard of anything like this.
And then they can also win, as a male fighter, you can also take a chance of winning, 1,000 in the open weight, and then
1,000 in the grand championship.
1,000 for
Yep.
your light or heavyweight grand, and then the light and heavyweight grand will be at BFT last man standing. So
the extra
it will
money
be an
for that.
overall grand for an additional 500 that the VFT is doing.
And then there's team fights. Yes.
And that's team
Yeah,
fights. Yep.
So
Yeah, we got
here's
1,000.
how. So when fighters hear this is what they do. They go, okay, who's on my team? I got a good squad. Okay, let me calculate. Right? That's what fighters do. They start calculating. They go, all right, if I have the best day of my life, what could this be? Right? But in reality, how many of those guys have there been? Right? We've seen Trevor do it. We've seen Jotty do it. We've definitely seen Ray do it. We've seen Jason do it. I think we've seen Ross do it. Man, we got some guys this year though. Avery could pull it off. Bailey could. I mean, we've seen some of these guys pop up. Tyson Ray is on the come up. We've got now he's blanking my mind right now. Come on.
Yeah, there's
Team
so
legend.
many. Oh, Christian.
17-foot arms, who's crazy,
Yeah.
gets crazy low.
Yeah, Christian
Christian
Yep.
Rivas,
Yep.
right? So there's a lot of good young talent. I mean, for me, I'd love it if it it'd be cool if everybody got a little taste. But I also think on our end, wouldn't it be great if we had a storyline if it was just like Tyreek Saint won everything?
Right.
That would be cool. That would be something
Exactly.
to talk about.
Exactly. Yes.
So
that
there's
was
a
what
lot
was
of
cool.
good-
That was what was cool about last year was that it wasn't the same person that
Correct.
won. We had
Avery.
Avery, and then Elijah won one of them.
Yeah.
I think Elijah won the heavy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and then he won the VFT part.
VFT,
But then the
yeah.
open
Correct.
weight, I believe, was Jack.
Right. And
Yes.
then we also had the team fights being won by Raymond's team. So it was
Right. Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
So it was like all spread out. So it was
Yeah,
nice.
it
You
was
didn't
good.
it wasn't the same fighter up there, winning every single division, and on any day one of those guys can win it. So it was
Right.
it was good.
See, what we've done is the sponsors, our sponsors that put their money, we put it towards the prize money. That's it. We didn't, we're running our tournament like we would normally run it, but some people that get sponsorship money, they do other things with it, if you know what I mean.
Right.
We want to give it back to the competitor. That's what we want to do, and that's the difference here. And I'm not downing other promoters by no means. Everybody has to do what they got to do.
Yeah.
All I'm saying, what we do is when we get a sponsor, the money goes towards the competitor. You know what I mean?
Right.
And that's why we're able to do what we're able to do, and we're lucky to have people like the Zingari family, and also Maggie Messina and other people that we have that support us. You know what I mean? So we're how can I say, fortunate and very thankful for having them help us out. But at the same time, it's funny because we got competitors too, and I've seen competitors. I mean, I've seen you guys compete, and Alex, wouldn't you? In your heyday, wouldn't you want to be in this event? You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, of course.
I
Right.
would have signed up for everything.
Yeah.
I would
Yeah,
have done
exactly.
everything.
Yes.
But
Yeah,
also at the same, but let's put it into a little bit of perspective. I would have done everything because what you said, hey Dave, I don't know if I really had one of those because I don't think I was ever really good enough to say like, all right, I know I'm gonna win that. I don't think I was ever that good where I could say, I know I'm going to win anything. So I better sign up for everything.
Yeah.
And we're fortunate. Maggie Messina and Female Fighters Matter too.
Mentioned that, yeah.
Yeah.
Put some money out there for the women's grands and
Yes,
the women's
that's what I
team
was gonna ask.
fights, and we very much like to do something special for the women, but we haven't had big women's division. I mean, and I'm an advocate of women. I mean, a female competitor from
yes,
the early 80s, but I think we had overall out of all the women for fighting last year was 16 or 18, which is not big, but if they come and show up, we'll think about doing something next year,
of doing a separate thing.
Yeah, and we created the super fights because NASCAR had that prize money that you could only give 500.
Right.
So those special divisions, we could do whatever we wanted with it. Now, this year they made the change and said you have to give out that pandemic money of 500, but you can give out more if you want. So that's why we went to, almost every division is the pre-pandemic prize money. There might be a couple little changes in there, but for the most part, it's pretty much all pre-pandemic. So
we're both really excited to see what our goal here is to see the very best competitors in our sport karate world here to show their talents and stuff,
Definitely.
And I got to tell you that if somebody said to me, who do you think would win? I couldn't even give you an answer because there's a lot of people out there. There's a few people that can win this thing. You know what I mean? So I'm excited about seeing it too.
And it all depends on how the brackets fall, I mean,
exactly.
Sometimes you get lucky. Sometimes you get in a real tough bracket and it's like, that's tougher than probably, the second or third bracket.
Well, and that's why I think this final 8 money is important.
Yes.
You know it as well as I do. Sometimes the match is tied. The next call is could have gone either way, and that guy is out of the money. But he might not be out of the money if he's in the top 8. You know what I'm saying? He's going to get something. So.
Yeah, and exactly. The other thing is too, we're the only sport that doesn't spread it out. You know what I mean? So this is a good first step for us to get to where we'd like to be. At least a first step towards that. Because other places. I mean, of course, we're not like professional golf or anything like that. Yeah, we're not kidding ourselves. But, if you get 50th place, you're still coming away with a good bit of change. You know what I mean?
You're not kidding. I know. I've read that.
Yeah. So, I mean, for us to at least get to where the top 8 is getting money is great. So that's a great first step.
Well, let's pause on that for a moment, Jeff. When you said, well, let's compare it to golf just for a moment. And you go, well, let's not kid ourselves. I mean, we're not quite golf. Well, maybe. What takes a sport like golf and makes it mainstream and makes it because golf is a profitable sport. So what makes it that? TV.
Mm-hmm. Right.
If you could get in front of viewers and not specifically TV, because now we have access to view things on more than just your actual television. We view things on everything, but if you're actually visible and accessible to a wide audience, that makes you more marketable. Well, how do we start out the show?
Yeah,
we started out the show talking about how you guys were on TV. So maybe you guys might have figured out a little bit of a blueprint that maybe the rest of us got to follow.
Well, and I think the big thing is, like someone said, I don't know, made a comment on a Facebook post or something saying, well, Ocean State's got sponsors for their prize money.
Good.
Well, we're not going to be giving $10,000, $20,000, $30,000 out in prize money with what you earn from people's entry fees, and there's nothing wrong with that. The more sponsors we can get, the bigger we can make the sport.
It's something like the Ocean State's nothing. The only thing we do is give out a lot of money.
But I was on
we should talk more about that. This is true.
I was on the Trans World Oil team, and they sponsored those huge tournaments, and it was $5,000 for all those first places and stuff. And a sponsor did it, of course, and it was awesome, so we just got to, keep plugging and trying to get more and more sponsors out there so we can give back to the competitor
And
more.
you brought up a great point there, Alex, in one way. That's why we had no choice. We had to get this back on television again. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
want people to see this here. We want them to see what we got. And we want these people to eventually, if to become stars. You know what I mean? Let's face it,
Right. Well, and everyone can go and find a karate school right out their door. You know what I mean? For the most part, and so that's one of the things that we do have in common with a golf or whatever is that we can, people can go and do martial arts. People can go and do that, which, that's one of the things that makes the sport very viable and very popular is how much access does everyone have to it, right? To participate in it. So I think we're getting there. All these martial arts schools are growing. And I think most people have stuck to it after the pandemic. And in a lot of ways, our many schools I've seen that came out of it successfully are growing even more than they ever have. Some bigger than they were before the pandemic. So,
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, let's also kind of shift slightly.
Yes.
Because you just mentioned, Don, you go, sounds like all Ocean State Grand Nationals does is hand out money. What else has Ocean State got for us this year?
Yes.
Well, listen, some things that are not much said, we give out a couple of big TVs for the most supporting school. One's an 85-inch color TV to the most supporting school, And the bummer part last year was the school that finished second was one competitor down. So he lost it by one competitor. So I said, you know what? We're going to give 75-inch color TV for second place now. You know what I mean? I felt pretty bad about that, So those are a couple of added things.
TV.
85-inch, yep.
I don't even think my wall could fit that. Wow.
And, we give out 7-foot trophies for the underbelts.
Okay.
Still doing that, and they're very, very unique trophies,
We also have Don the Dragon Wilson coming in as our special guest because every year we usually have a celebrity guest.
Yeah.
We've had from Chuck Norris to Bruce Lee's daughter Shannon to Cynthia Rothrock. I mean, Bill Wallace. Don Wilson has been a guest years and years ago, he is coming back this year, and he's our special guest. And one of the other things that people, for whatever reason, they don't, people don't read, so, but one of the really cool awards we've had, even when Kevin Thompson was still with us, is a MVP. Kevin Thompson.
I was looking at that today. Yes. Explain that. That's awesome.
So if you have 5 or more people on your team or from your school that compete, all you need to do is go to see Don or myself at the tournament and say, let us know the name of the team or the school. And, I had 10 people and I'd like to get an MVP award. So we give the instructor or the coach an MVP award, Kevin Thompson award, and they give it to who they think is their MVP of the team.
Okay, that's cool.
That's so cool. Yeah.
So it's not like their best competitor or anything, but it's like that little kid.
It's like a game ball.
Right.
Yeah. That's it.
Yeah.
Someone that did it, and that's the best way to explain it, a game ball. So
and we got boxes of those trophies, and we love giving them to the coaches and to the instructors and stuff. And it's just another one of those good things.
It is. That's an awesome, great, just extra incentive, and a cool thing for that instructor too. I mean, you guys are giving it to him, but it's also like that highlight is on that instructor giving that
precisely
to them. So all that does is that, yes, you're a great thing for your event, but also you are highlighting and pushing that instructor to his students, and also pushing up that highlighting that competitor as well. So really cool.
And at the same time, it keeps Kevin's spirits alive.
Yes, because that's what he was.
It's exactly what he wants.
He was not only the MVP, but he was just an amazing teammate, right? I mean,
He was a very, very, very special person in my life. He
Yes,
really
sir.
was. I miss him dearly, and he was the real deal. He really was,
Definitely.
And as far as we're concerned, Kevin will live forever for us. You know what I mean? That's what we
Right.
feel.
Right.
Mhm.
Right. Yeah.
Well, I wanna lean in on that MVP award a little more because I just think it's such an awesome move. So let's dissect it just a little bit. So any school or team with 5 or more competitors, they get one MVP award that goes to the instructor or coach, and the coach gets to hand that out to the competitor of their choice.
That's correct.
Yes.
Cool.
Man,
So
okay,
cool.
now let's dissect it. Okay, so here's what that really does. What that does is now that team or school likely is going to feel very appreciated by the Ocean State Grand Nationals. So now next year, boom, we're at the Ocean State Grand Nationals. So by you, whatever it costs, it doesn't matter, right?
Right.
If you go in debt a few $1,000s on that, it doesn't matter because from the business standpoint, oh man, maybe I'm giving too much advice. I don't know, right? From a business standpoint, you just created, right? Now student retention, or what would we call it? Just like business retention. Okay.
Right.
Now, from the other side, from the school or team, now, because whoever does it, if they do it the right way, they don't do this like, hey man, I thought you did the best job. Here's this award. You don't do it that way. No. You gather everybody together.
Yeah.
You make a big freaking deal about it.
Right.
Like, how awesome was this tournament? You want any team or school owner or instructor wants a tournament that they know they can send their people to, that they can feel safe, and that everybody's going to have a positive experience, because then they'll want to do more karate tournaments. Well, what do you have to do more karate tournaments? You got to do more karate. That means
There you go.
you just now created student retention. So now whoever just handed this MVP trophy to, now this might sound emotionless. I'm sorry if it does. Whoever you just handed this MVP trophy to, forget about it. That was a student retention for a minimum of 2 years. Minimum. If you fall on your face as a coach or as an instructor for 2 years, it doesn't matter. They're there, right? That's how much power is going to be in that award. That's a really freaking cool thing. I'm sorry. I got really animated for this. I think it's a great move. I think everybody should do it.
Right.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
We also tried to, we don't have a big convention center. We have a hotel, and in Rhode Island there isn't something like that has those gigantic convention centers. So we divided up through the 3 days, and on Sunday it's just underbelts.
Just underbelts. Okay.
Right.
So it's nice too, because the instructors can really, pour their heart out into competition on Friday and Saturday. The students can come watch them. They don't have to stress over, I got this brand new white belt fighting for the first time, and I got to be there. And, so they can just concentrate on themselves. And then Sunday, they can either, they're helping out judging, or they're over there coaching their kids. And, it's a great day for the kids, because you know how when you bring new students to tournaments that get over at 6 or 7 o'clock at night, the parents are like, I don't want to go back to another one, so
Right.
they're usually out of there by, the majority of them are out probably by 12 o'clock, but I would say
Really?
we might be done around 2 o'clock,
Yeah.
but
That's a good day.
it's only underbelt. So
Right.
we can really,
Well, and it makes the Friday and Saturday go smoother as well. I remember the past few years asking, okay, what's happening right now? Like, oh, yeah, we're already done. I'm like, wait, what? It's 1, 2 o'clock, what's going on? It's like, but that definitely makes a huge difference.
Yeah.
And again, with the amount of people that you come. Yeah, exactly.
Well, the key behind that, and it's always been this way with me, is, and with us, I should say, is we plan our work and we work our plan. And that's what you need to do. You know what I mean? And that's how come we've already got a judges list already going. We already got things already started. I mean, we're doing a lot of work, and a lot of work that a lot of people don't see. But you know what? When it's all done, we want everyone to have a good experience here at the Ocean State. We really do, and that's our main goal.
That's awesome. That's awesome. It's always a great event. You know, it's been a few years since I've been, so I'm excited to be back. You know, I did the long drive as a junior, as a competitor from Virginia up to Rhode Island, driving in the middle of the night. I think my mom
drove that.
Yeah, my mom used to set up at their tournament. She used to have a vending booth for about 4 or 5 years. She did that years ago, and so we would pack it up the Suburban with all the things, and then go up there, and you know, there's all kinds of people that do that as well. So that are still doing that. So yeah, so it was a fun experience. I was telling Alex and Reed last night that one year we were at a amusement park, right?
That's correct.
Yeah, after we were done with that, we went, rode a roller coaster, and then went back. It was like right in it. It was great.
It was.
Yeah, that was cool. We unfortunately, that place, that amusement park is like historic in Rhode Island, but you know, it closed.
It closed. Yeah.
It was nice because it was right on the ocean, and we had the amusement park and the big hall, and we, you know, had the tournament, and then we used to, I think we gave like free entry, or we gave them like a. We had something worked out with the park for the competitors and
we
stuff.
We could give them a bracelet, and they could go on all the rides for free.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, that's what it was. Yeah, it was awesome. I just remember, hey, keep the bracelet on so you can go, then come back, and then go back and do it again. And
exactly,
it was fun.
Yeah,
that's great memories, you know.
That was a long time ago. It was.
Yeah.
Well, just like what Jeff was just saying, you know, when Reed Presley was on last week, and we were talking, which was a great show, by the way. All right. We were talking about Ocean State Grand Nationals from years past. What are some of your, I don't want to say favorites, because how do you pick a favorite? Maybe you do have one. I don't know. But what are some of the most notable moments in Ocean State Grand Nationals history?
Well, you know, we had the Billy Nasty fight. You know what I mean? Billy Blanks and Nasty. And they fought hard, you know what I mean? And we've had some really, really good fights there. We also used to have international team competition.
Yes.
We had Italy versus USA, you know what I mean? And that was a good fight when we had that. You know?
I would say memorable was that we have been the event that teams have debuted. When I was on the Trans World Oil team, we debuted at the Ocean. We debuted at the Ocean State. The Paul Mitchell team.
We debuted there.
Debuted there. My team, you know, Team CBR debuted there. What other ones?
Yeah, when they had American Airlines team, they debuted there that time.
Did they?
Yeah. You know what
I mean?
Well, not just that. Even when new faces of teams, they would debut there. Yeah. I think when the new Straight Up team, they debuted there.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But even you guys have for Paul Mitchell, you guys have done the same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Exactly. Brought new people out, their first event.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we're going to be doing it this year.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. Got new people already, right? We got lots of new people that we just announced. So
we're excited about it. And you know what? I'm just, you know what? It's been a while since I've been this excited about the sport. You know what I mean? I really am. And I got to tell you that here's the good part about it. This is the exciting part about it. We've given out $28,000 this year in prize money for a total. And last year we gave out a little over 2,000.
2,000.
I mean, I'm sorry, a little over 20,000. My mistake.
Yeah.
And now this year, there's a couple of tournaments that are giving out over 20,000. You know what I mean? So this is good.
Yes.
This is good. This is good that this is happening. You know
I mean? And you're right, sir. What the thing is that what we all need to do is think, okay, how do we make this tournament great? And then now how do we make the next one even better and the next one even better? And that's how an organization grows and gets better. You know, it's not just, oh, well, I had an awesome tournament. I don't know about you, but I had an awesome tournament, you know, and like it's, well, I did this and we did this for this tournament. How can you guys follow that, and like, and how can we help you, get to that next level? So then if you get to that next level, then I'm going to get even higher the next year, and we're all going to do better and better,
And you know what? You're bringing up a great point, because that's my problem. I start thinking about next year already.
Yeah,
exactly. I haven't even got this year done.
Haven't got this year done. I understand.
Exactly.
Man, well, this has been so much fun. Alex, go ahead.
One, if going out to a new city for a tournament, not even if I'm going anywhere for karate, I want to know what the restaurant like.
Oh yes, restaurant.
Now I brought this restaurant up, and I know this restaurant. It's still, I think about this restaurant.
Seafood is good in Rhode Island.
Sure. Best seafood restaurants I've ever been in my life. It's called the Crow's Nest.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
Now you could tell me, yeah, that's what you think, Alex. I don't know. All right. Is there? How about drop a couple spots for people who are going to be going to Ocean State Grand National?
They got the Coast Guard house here in Narragansett, not too far from here. You know what I mean? And Newport, Rhode Island's not that, and Newport's not that far. A lot of great restaurants over there, but the Coast Guard house is really awesome. I mean, really, really awesome. So yeah, this is our small dog.
Look at his head. His
What's
head is bigger than yours.
Hi.
What's the matter?
He's
a big boy.
He is.
175 pounds.
Jeez.
He puts his feet up on my stepson Christopher and can look down on him.
That's crazy.
Yeah, food is great. There's a lot of beaches, a lot of, the weather's just starting to be like, spring weather.
Yeah.
Hopefully we're hoping for good weather. And I don't know, there's a lot of different things.
We've got a couple of malls right down the street.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome.
That you can go to too.
There's
it's going to be exciting, right? It's that time of the year where people are ready to compete, right?
And even when you fly in, though, it's only 5 minutes away from the airport.
That's
and the hotel's got a free shuttle to bring you from the hotel to the airport and back. So all these things, we got free parking there. You don't pay for parking.
Jeez,
that's
unheard
all the
of.
little things you'd be surprised about.
That's unheard of up north.
Right.
That's awesome. Yeah. Well, I think it's going to be, again, I feel like it's going to be the best one yet. And we're going to be talking about it every week on our show here and as well on Martial Arts Center Network. And we're all excited about it. I know I will be there, and many of us in the Martial Arts Center Network will be there. So it's going to be a big one. But also, we've really just focused mostly on Ocean State, and that's mostly what we're going to talk about today. But we got to get you guys back on just to talk about the legacy of what you two have done in the sport, because it's been so much. So I just want to thank you for that, for not only what you've done for Ocean State, for NASCA, for Crane, for JPM.
I mean, look in the comments.
Yeah,
look at the comments. How many people have chimed in? Yeah. Two Goats, Alex Lane, Gabrielle Dunn, Rudolph.
Yep, so many.
Even Mike P.
Yeah.
So it's been great. So we've had a lot of awesome comments here, and we've enjoyed the show, and I think everyone's going to enjoy Ocean State Grand Nationals this year. So, you guys got anything last you want to say before you enjoy the rest of your evening?
The one thing I would like to say is thank you very much for everyone's support last year. We're really looking forward to seeing everybody this year, and especially our sponsors. They really stepped up and believed in us and helping us here. And you know what? We're excited about it, but I also want to thank both you guys for having us on and having us express ourselves to you and so forth. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Well, hey, first time, not the last time.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. Well, this is actually Christine's second time. She's been on before.
This is true.
That's right.
This is true.
With the ladies, right?
That's right.
Yeah,
the ladies show. That was a good one as well. Well, thank you guys. Y'all have a blessed rest of your night.
Thank you very much. Yeah.
Thank you.
That was a fun time, man.
That was
That was
fun.
cool. Did I freeze for a moment?
Yeah, you did.
Oh man. Hopefully my face didn't look strange. It did. It did. You paused. It did. I get
Yeah, I looked a little weird. I was like,
it. You just kept it going like a true pro.
yeah.
Wow, I appreciate it,
It's
man.
like, yeah, I think actually Christine saved you because I didn't understand what you were talking about. I knew what you were talking about the food.
She
And she
picked
was
it
like,
up.
yeah, we have seafood. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Okay. Dude, I'm not kidding you.
I know.
had
We
like
thought
a-
last
I think
week.
it was a-
Crow's nest.
No, it was a 3-pound stuffed lobster.
That's
Because
insane.
and I had it like in like 2014, like 9 years ago. That's how good the thing was. Right. Anyway. Hey
Oh,
man,
one
I
more
would be
thing,
remiss
guys.
if we
Go
did
ahead.
not talk about VFT.
Yeah, and we're gonna get into that right now. Also, let's remember, guys, our website is up, mainnetwork.shop, where you can go and get your new t-shirts. All of our t-shirts today, we didn't wear any of them, but
Dude,
we
I felt bad. I was wearing
yeah.
my Shut Up Alex shirt, but I was wearing it yesterday, man. My bad.
Yeah, I've been wearing them as well. Wear them around the gym, around the high school, around here, around town. So I will definitely have them this weekend. Have some wearing them all over the weekend in Florida this weekend. So
You know, when you wear those things to the gym, you know, when people are sitting there, because when you go to the gym, like it's people are either like wearing attire that's like, don't talk to me, or here's this funny or interesting thing. And when you wear something like that, people stop and look at you.
Oh,
you know?
yeah.
So it's cool.
Mark said he had the stuffed lobster before. He said it was awesome. Yeah.
It's all of it, man.
All right. So again, yeah, go to mainnetwork.shop and go ahead and
Get you some
and support us. So we are excited about that being able to be launched. Also, guys, go and join our Patreon, as we are going to have lots of new things. Our Fist Kicks and Flicks team just did a special interview that's going to be on there, featuring one of the guys that was in No Retreat, No Surrender. So we're going to be doing several of those. Also this weekend, both Angel and I are going to be in Florida for Starcade. So we're going to be getting some Patreon extra footage for you guys. So hope you guys check that out. Go to patreon.com/main network. So, all right.
Let's get into it, man.
Let's
I got some notes on
the
the show. Now, I know you were commentating on it. Listen,
yeah.
I had no volume, none whatsoever. I was mixing at a party
Right.
while I was watching. I've watched VFT that way so many times.
You had.
Where I'm at a wedding and I'm just like, but I'm not gonna miss it, right? And I just am like, sometimes people are like, oh, here, you can come eat now, and I'm like, no, I'm not gonna eat. And they're like, are you seriously not gonna eat? And I'm like, yeah, I'm not gonna eat. Stop talking to me. I have to focus. And unfortunately, for this next hour, your wedding is not it.
That's hilarious.
Just jokes, man. Guys. I'm a professional.
Just joke. Yeah, you're a professional, right?
Okay. I got notes on them. Do you have an overview, or I kind of got little snippets on each fight? I kind of want to go down the line.
Okay, that's fine. Go ahead. I know for me, it was my first time doing commentary since the Forms one, right? So the whole program, everything was completely different, you know, at least with VFT. So I was pretty much lost because we didn't really get to practice at all or talk. And I never like once saw like Chris or Jackson until like the show went live. So that was a little nerve-wracking for me. But overall, it was a great experience. You know, you just never know. It's like, are they hearing me? Am I speaking? Do I need to speak louder? Yeah. Do I need this or that?
But you guys are pros. You guys pick it up on it.
Yeah. We picked it up pretty fast and figured out our positions and everything. So I thought it worked out well. You know, overall, I know for me, it was just, I still kind of, I don't know if I wish I was there or not, but I know that the vibe was just tense, right? And that's what it felt.
After hearing about it, after hearing Travis talk about what it was like.
Yeah, and I've talked to other people too that were there. And
I have not talked to anybody who was there. I just heard Travis talk about it. on CTE, which if you guys haven't listened to CTE, go back. They're going to get into a little bit more detail than we are, just for the sheer sake of time. So go check it out. But don't tune out right now. Wait till this podcast is done, then go listen. But I think it sounded like it was an experience to be had, to just be in there. Like if it was a tense situation, like I think I still would have liked to know. I want to know.
Yeah, that's what it means. Like I want to know what it's like. That way I can say, okay, I want to or don't want to be here, right? For myself.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah.
All right.
All right. So let's start with the first fight.
The first fight. Yeah. I mean, Jaquil and Trey. Trey won. I think if Jaquil didn't, if he didn't gas out, I think Trey was still going to win. Right.
Oh yeah. No,
I think if he had every bit of energy that he was, and that's not saying anything, though it kind of is because he did gas out a lot. But I think it almost is, and this is going to sound slightly bad, it's almost a discredit to Trey because Trey was really, really good.
Yeah, that's
and
what I was going to say.
Maybe we didn't get a chance to see, like, okay, how great could he have been? Because we didn't see a 3-round fight, and his opponent kind of gassed out. So, but that dude's leg,
yeah, that's what I was going to say. Wow. To me though, Trey stuck to his guns. Trey stuck to his weapon. He showed a lot of maturity, and that's what I talked about on the show too, was just especially those first couple of fights. The people who won were the ones who stuck to, they kept it simple. They didn't try to do something out of their comfort zone and get all flustered because, oh man, I'm in VFT, and you could tell the nerves didn't, because the nerves have a lot to do with you gassing out. Okay. And
100%.
100%. And I think that's the ones that control that are the ones that are being successful. Yes, they're training and they're putting in the cardio and the time, but it's still different. When you get in there and it's in a cage, most of these people never fought in a cage before, and it's just a different feel. So knowing that people are at home watching, that's something they've never done before,
Right. Now, I've never fought in a cage before, but I have fought in a boxing ring before.
Yes. Yeah. I've fought in a boxing ring, not a cage.
And that thing gets real short, real quick.
Yes.
And you're like, you take a step and a half and you're at the ropes and you're like, oh, dang, my fighter's still coming at me.
Right.
Like, I don't have the same kind of movement that I can just do however I want. Right. But then at the same time, if you're the one who's in control of that, you can kind of manipulate them to be able to move and make it look like you're right in front, but you're not. But anyway. Yeah. All right. So Trey won that one kind of by a landslide.
Right? Point wise, it wasn't, but he controlled the fight.
I know it wasn't point wise,
but he controlled. Yeah,
exactly.
The next one was Daryl Carter versus
Shaq Porter.
Shaq, and to me, it was very similar as far as, like I was saying, keeping his composure, sticking to what he's good at. He didn't try anything else. I mean, most of his stuff was a blitz, was a body punch, but he did.
You know who Shaq Porter? Like when I was watching him, be really successful with that rear hand blitz. He kind of reminded me of watching was El Jabba.
All right, that's what I thought you were going to say. All right, I was like, El Jabba?
Wow.
Yeah, okay, because that's what I think of when I think of someone who knows how to use a reverse punch. That way, I think of El Jabba. So,
and it wasn't just that, like, because there's been a lot of good rear hand, punch blitzers, but I think the way you watch El Jabba do it, like, I think El Jabba does it, and he is all in. And when he does it, he's like, I'm all in. There's no, because sometimes guys will extend and then they'll like come back and no.
Yeah,
El Jabba doesn't do that. Like he's
going for it.
He's going. It's 100% the whole way. So, and that's kind of what I thought Shaq doing. Now Daryl and CTE talked about this too. Daryl just didn't have any kind of long range weapon.
No.
He didn't have any kind of long range weapon. And so Shaq could sit just outside of his range. This fight was a math equation, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you could just take emotion 100% out of it. This was a math equation. Okay.
Right.
Shaq sits outside of range. Daryl steps into range, but is not yet into his own range. Daryl cannot yet strike, right? Steps inside. Shaq goes, okay, go. And because Shaq was quicker, Daryl was always kind of going heavy because he's planning on taking another step forward.
Mm-hmm.
So it wasn't like he steps in and he could lean back and get a side kick up or get a punch in, because he's planning on taking another step forward to close that gap. And Shaq just was like, I don't even have to think. I just have to when he steps in, I just go. He steps in, I just go. Right. So, yeah.
All right. The third fight. So that was trying to replay it in my head.
Jalen and Malik.
Oh, Jalen and Malik. Yeah. All right.
Give me a sec. I want to look at something.
Notes on that one.
First of all, Malik Green.
Yeah. You
need a new uniform. Get a new uniform. I don't care who sponsored you, who put this. You need a new uniform. That thing. Wow, that was hard on the eyes, right? It was hard to watch, right? Not just like, oh, it looks like it. It's just when I'm trying to watch the fight, I couldn't focus on the fight. All I kept seeing was the uniform, right? I'm watching exchanges and I'm trying to see like who's getting where, and I'm just like, uniform, right? That thing is loud and bright and green and everywhere.
Oh man!
I said that Angel got upset like I hated green. I was like, no. This thing is another level, right?
Right. Well, last name's Green. Got to have green.
Which is cool. It's whatever.
Yeah.
All right. So I thought Jalen did a great job. Being kind of a counter fighter with him. So
yes.
Like he had an answer for whatever Malik was about to do, right? And I feel like he just did a really good job.
I agree. Again, stuck to his kicks and his back fist, and he did it in a calm way. He wasn't chasing. He, like you said, when Malik kind of got into his space, he took advantage of it, and then he just kind of started going and going and going, and that's at one point it kind of looked like, okay, this could get out of hand, but it was still a big victory for him. I would have liked to seen Malik change some things, and I just didn't see that. So he still has a lot to learn.
There wasn't really any kind of setup or fake. There was Malik attack, Jalen had answer. All right. Yep. So now Jalen's ahead. Malik attack again. Jalen has answer. Right. So sometimes you can look at it emotionless like that and go, okay, you're just attacking and he's just answering. He has a couple of answers based off of the few attacks he sees. So how do you change that up? So change it up. Don't be the guy who always does that. So, but when you think remedial like that, sometimes people go, okay, well then I won't be the one to attack. Well, now you have to, because you're down, right? You can't just sit there and do nothing. What did you think? Like he's just going to voluntarily come and put himself in harm's way? That's not going to happen.
Right.
You have to break up the rhythm. You have to make him freeze. You have to create some uncertainty in him so that you can go. All right. But it'll change. This is just fight experience, man. We all go through it. Ain't no big thing.
Yep. Right. Next one.
The next one was
Michael.
Was the victory.
Yeah.
So
Michael versus Styles, man.
Yeah. That's impressive to get that many points. 38 points.
Yeah. That's it is. And honestly, he didn't look tired at all either.
That's what I thought was most impressive is when he got, I remember watching it while I was mixing going, this is over. But after each round, it was like, all right, it was the landslide. Next round, landslide. Next round, landslide. But here's the thing. It's hard. It's hard to do what he did, to just keep fighting and keep going because it's exhausting, and to know that you don't have to, like you're just going to win, right? Sometimes guys can just hang, right?
Correct.
And we've seen some of the top fighters, just kind of step back, move a little bit, don't overexhaust themselves. A lot of times they do that because they have another round to think about, that they're moving up in the bracket.
Right.
Michael knew this is
Right.
it. All right.
Right.
This is the only thing I'm doing all night.
Put
Let's
on a
just let it
show.
all out.
And then when he found out, he could get the record, all right, let's see how
he
this
turned it
works,
up, right?
Yeah.
So I was impressed that he broke the record, and I was impressed that he did it, and he didn't have to. It wasn't like they were going back and forth so much, and
Right,
it was like within 3 points, and like he then got the record. No, he scored 38 points.
Yeah, but we haven't seen anyone do it like that yet. I mean, most of the time these records are like you're not seeing these records happen in really close fights. These have been like landslide type
Exactly.
victories.
What's the most points you've ever scored in a match, in a round?
I don't know. What, 2 minutes? Yeah, I'm not sure. I mean, it's been definitely over 10. Well, all right. See, continuous.
Those don't count because you gotta stop. We're talking about when you gotta stop.
I know.
And then call
Continuous, I've had over 50 or 50 some, 60
gosh.
some points. Yeah, the craziest score that. Well, I think it was because I was down by a lot of points and I came back and won. and
that's where
crazy.
the NBL did it, where the NBL would do it by points.
Yeah.
And I think the way NASCAR did it, I think they probably still do it this way, is they just go, all right, you win.
Yeah.
Right. So I never did it by points.
But the problem is with that, it's usually given to whoever goes first or is the heaviest and controls the fight, not necessarily who actually hits the person the most times.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. And so
like
that's
if somebody comes in and hits me twice, but then I take it, pop, and then I move and I switch and I round kick them in the face, and then now they fly back. It looks like I'm the one who just did all the damage.
Right.
But I just kind of had one good move.
One good one.
But he just hit me 2 or 3 times.
Correct.
So you're just manipulating the system. Anyway.
Exactly. Anyways,
congrats to Michael for the record.
Congrats to Michael. I thought, again, very calm, very relaxed. I'm excited to see him more. I know he competes, he's kind of competing here and there. He's been doing some Waco. So I wasn't really too worried about his gas tank, so.
Yeah.
And excited. He's, I think, 17, I believe. So
don't say anyone's age.
Listen, he's on his way to moving up. All right. You can move up anytime you want to.
He's 18 and 3/4.
Go.
Okay. Let's talk about the main event.
All right.
This I couldn't really have a prediction as to how it was gonna go, like how the fight's gonna go, but it did predict. I did kind of have in my mind that like if Thomas was gonna get off at all, it was gonna have to be right away.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. And I thought that Trey was gonna give him all of his body at one point, but I thought it was gonna be like in a shot. But it really kind of was just his presence and just his overall just body. When they would kind of come together, Trey would just tray him, out of the way.
Exactly.
Really, that is exhausting.
Then you got to think about when you do that now in VFT in a cage, you're landing into something.
Exactly.
Not just through the air and then landing on the mat, which still hurts, or you have people behind you that catch you, bodies that catch you. No, you're landing right into the cage or into that side, or into that hardwood, floor. So I
remember
think
when
his presence definitely wore him down, and that's why I think he did kind of take it like not kind of like as a joke. Is this serious that he really? Does he know what he's getting into, with that? Yes. Thomas did a great job in the beginning of going, just getting right into it and taking off, first ridge hand was like beautiful. Right. And it was one of those things that for me, I got excited just because I hadn't seen that in 20 years. And it takes me back to being like a kid right behind him, always watching his ring, After that, okay, now it's time for reality, right?
Right. And I kind of thought it would go a little bit like that in the sense that I thought Thomas would get 1, maybe 2, and then Trey would realize, all right, this is what it's like. Not that he didn't already know, because what have we've been talking about that move
Right.
for months, right?
Right. Exactly. Everyone knew that was coming. And he
knew
did
was
it.
coming.
And
But even
he
though,
hit him hard
what
with
is
it
that
too.
saying though? How many times have you fought, a fighter before, and someone goes, "Hey man, watch out for their blitz.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
You got a plan for me? You're just
Yeah.
gonna watch out for it." Right? So I remember, I know I'm gonna get back onto it. It was like the funniest shit in the world, right? I'm fighting Jason Borelli, and there's this guy he was a good black belt. He was kind of from he was from our school. It was at the Diamonds. This is the Diamonds in 02, right? And this guy, he's kind of like walking by me, and he goes, "Watch out, Alex! He's gonna kick." You can't even make this shit up. And I'm like, and
yeah. Duh.
did you
Yeah.
just all of a sudden you just think like you just became smarter than the rest of the world? We all know that's happening.
We all know that's
We'll
coming.
figure out a way to stop it.
We all
All
knew
right,
the Ridge
anyway.
Man was coming. So
the Ridge Hand was coming. So he said, so I thought the first one looked really good, right?
oh yeah.
Towards the end, he was up in the first round.
I think it was 5-3.
Towards the end of that round.
That's when yep.
Yeah, we
Gas
didn't get out of
started.
that first round before Trey was like, this shit changes,
Yeah. Yeah. He made him feel it and he was exhausted. And again, I just think overall his presence and what Trey did too was he wasn't moving back anymore. He controlled that center line the rest of the fight, right?
He did do what he said. He said, "I'm not going back."
Right.
But
beginning-
he did in the first
beginning,
round.
Yeah, in the first round, yeah. Well, that's what I mean. Then he
in the
really
second round,
did what he
didn't
needed.
go back once. He
Exactly.
didn't go back.
No.
So the second round, wow, that was different. So the second round, they both were hands on knees, hanging out. But Trey almost looked like he was doing it because he could.
Yeah.
Thomas was hands on knees because he had to.
Well, yeah,
right?
he had, and he was down at that point. Trey didn't need to do anything else. He could have kept going.
They were hands on knees,
done more.
and then I didn't realize how fast and explosive he is off the line. Just the first movement, pow, taking off. That back fist is quick, man.
Right.
So I was thinking, I was like, man, he should do a match with somebody else who's got a good back fist. Come on now.
Who are you thinking?
I was thinking about Cam.
Oh, all right.
That would be a cool. Well, who did you think I was talking about?
I had no clue. I had no clue where you were going.
Just because
I'm thinking old school again because we're just kind of in old school kind of mode.
Oh, yeah, maybe.
But it's okay.
But then I started thinking again, and I started thinking like, well, why wouldn't guys run it? They're never gonna. I don't think they're gonna run it back. These guys aren't gonna do a round two, right? But wouldn't that be cool though? And then I started thinking a little bit more. Like it would be. I think it would be really cool if they'd be like, you know what? I don't care. We're doing it again, right? And then they do a rematch. What are some other VFT rematches you'd like to see? Because there's I would love to see.
Everyone wants to see Bailey and Jack again. That's definitely
Absolutely.
Yeah, that one is definitely we want to see that. The one that was really close, and it was one of the Texas ones. It was the Alex versus Jason Latona. Alex Macias versus Jason Latona. That one was really close, and I think
Alex
now
is going out right now.
Yeah, exactly. I think Alex would. Alex. Now I don't know if Jason's healed yet from his injury or whatever's going on with that.
He has an injury.
I think he was, last year, but I haven't seen him compete in a while. So, but that was a good fight, and I like to see that kind of a return on that one. Let's see. Are you frozen? You look frozen. I'm trying to remember another. Oh, actually, I want to see the team fight. I want to. Well, okay, we'd have to change it, but the dude, you're killing me with this frozenness. Let me see if he's back. So the top 10, with Tyreek and Troy versus Jack and Kevin was a great match, a great team fight. That I would have loved to see that again. Now we have a whole new team, but still Kevin and Jack could fight together again if they wanted to, you know. But now you put Kevin and Bailey versus Tyreek and Troy, or you know, maybe they put someone else in there. That would be fun as well. I think that would be a great matchup as well.
Now, because I had to freeze for a moment, did you mention Kevin and Ryan George?
I did not. That was a great fight. That was from the first one. Yeah, that was awesome.
That was VFT 1.
Yeah, that was
a great fight.
I'd like to see that in the cage. That's what I'd like to see. Yeah, you know, because wasn't, you know.
I think it should just stay there. This is where it should stay. This is where it's at. Let's perfect this one area. Everybody seems like everybody knows it, likes it. This is what we've come to expect. This is the V environment. It's kind of like how like Karate Combat. They're in Orlando. They're not leaving. They're going to stay there. They're not going to go to this town, this town, this town, this town. No. We're going to be right here. This is where we're going to do everything. Which I think they should, and they should stay there. It's
cool. Yeah.
I think this should be the same thing for VFT. I think it was great. I mean, Jesse's throwing the whole thing. What's he want to go out to, you know, Massachusetts and throw one for? No, just stay right here.
Well, that's true. I mean, I think the only thing is that they could find a spot that they could put more spectators if they wanted to do that, you know.
Now but
they have it all set up production wise there, so keep it small and focus on that. You know, we'll see how it goes from there. You know, until you get a big sponsor that wants to help with you know, the expenses of that. So
now that would be cool.
Yeah,
it will be really, you know, it'd be really cool if Jungo TV teamed up with
there you go. We did it. That would be cool.
You know what? You want to speak something into existence. That would be something to speak into existence.
I like it.
I mean, that was the best thing that never happened.
Right.
What was that? Jungo TV, Black Belt.
Well, Black Belt and Jungo are still working together. They have a relationship going on, but it's not involving sport karate right now. So, but yeah.
Mike is bringing up the Bristol Open thing. The Bristol Open thing was really cool.
That was cool. I'd still like to see that in cage too.
I don't know how you're gonna do that though.
Yeah, I know.
How you gonna do that? Because it's a different environment. I think that one's different.
You could still have a cage, or you could have a ring. Have a big wrestling ring.
Yeah, maybe the ring. Maybe the ring would be all right.
Yeah,
I think that would be cool.
Just something a little different, but. I don't know. I really like what VFT is doing. I don't know what's next. You know, I think they're doing some different things at certain events coming up. So that I think in April they are doing actually kind of like what they wanted to do with Tyreek and Bailey with their teams. I think they're doing that down in Damien's event in April. So
well, that's cool.
So they're doing that down there.
Well, and we got the last man standing going on at a few events.
Yep, we have one at Ocean State.
They're doing that.
Yep.
That should continue to be the thing.
And again, I don't know if you guys haven't gone out and watched the documentary yet, but go and do that. Go and get just purchase your ticket now just to watch the documentary. It was great. Lots of fun. Fun, just throwbacks and everything in there. So,
what'd you think of the doc?
I thought it was cool. I was on the other end, like so. Sometimes it would freeze, and I didn't realize that I could just push refresh because I didn't want to mess anything up on my end. So, yeah, but yeah, no. So I missed a little bit of the beginning, but it was good from what I saw, and I caught I was able to see myself on TV. So you know.
Oh, okay.
That's all you. You know, you were saying some big things on the show, so it was awesome, man.
I haven't even watched it yet, so I gotta go. I gotta go watch it. So
yeah, you were talking about the VFT future big time, so it's really cool.
I've said it on the show.
Well,
I think it's a big.
It is
for the future.
Yeah, definitely. All right, let's see how we want to end the show. We've kind of been all over the place today. Let's.
You got something special?
Oh man, I wanted to tell a story. I'm trying to remember which one it was.
Oh, ladies and gentlemen, It's story time with Uncle Jeff.
Let's see which one could we do. All right, so this is the Ocean State story, and we might have shared this before, but this is just the Ryan Huntley saga of 2000. All right.
All right, I'm in.
So Team Elite then. All right. So this is the year that Ocean State Grand Nationals was the NBL tournament. Okay. And people were like, oh, well, it's going to get smaller or whatever. Dude, it didn't. There was a lot of people from all over that came to this event. NASCA, NBL, Crane, Waka, I mean, everything. It was great. It was a huge tournament. It was a lot of fun. It was different. Okay. And so we decided to, hey, we want to get Ryan Huntley on our team. Then we will really have like a big, a stacked. We would have Jason, Trevor Nash, and Ryan Huntley as our team fight, right? And then Freddie as like the kind of alternate, kind of back and forth,
Freddie LePan
at that time, right? So that was the plan, right? So we we fly him in to come and kind of do this as like a trial event. Okay, we want you to come in. We pay for him to come in. We pay for him to compete. He's not technically representing us yet, but we wanted to, I guess, pretty much to see him just to talk. He wasn't really sure about it, but the big thing was that he didn't want to move divisions. Okay, so he was in the same division as Trevor. So we're like, hey, you need to move up. Well, the thing in NBL was that it was all about records. We had the magazine, and it was a big deal for you to win your same division year after year after year. And he had this streak going where he had won, a certain division as a junior, and then he won his first 2 years as an adult. And the year before, Trevor was in the same division as Jason. So Trevor already moved up, right? He was in middle year before. He moved up to light heavy. We were saying, all right, Ryan, you move up to heavy. So we get there, and he's like, I ain't doing it. I'm not moving up to heavy. No, that's not happening. So he wins that division. And
wait, which division? Light heavy or heavy?
Light heavy. Yeah,
so
he ends up winning that division
because I am moving and wins.
Yep, wins. And pretty much we paid for him to get picked up by SES. Because they were like, all right, yeah, this works great because we don't want you moving up to heavy or super heavy because we have Carlos Tierney and Brian Plimple in those, divisions. So it was just funny how it worked out. Like, wait a minute, we just paid for this guy to come here and get picked up on another team. But that's part of it, right?
I guess the logistics of it. How did Elite not see that coming? Why would you?
That's kind of what I was. It was odd. Okay, I was 16. I didn't know all the details. I heard little pieces here and there, and I was like, I don't know if this seems right. How about let's not?
How about I don't think it's going to work right? Because if you talk to him on the phone and be like, hey man, we want to bring you out.
Yeah.
But we want you to go heavy. And he'll say, I'm never doing that. Forget about it. Then
exactly.
I'm not going to waste the plane ticket on him.
Right. But I don't know if that was told or what had happened. It was just one of those weird things.
Maybe it was.
Right?
And just
later that year, though, we got Renee
Perot.
Brian Ruth was also on the team for a little bit that year.
I forgot about that.
And then he kind of came back later on. But we had that team at that time. Thomas was still on the team. Thomas was that third person actually who was fighting because he was so it was Thomas, Jason, and Trevor was our main team, as well as Freddie. So that the year-long streak actually started right after Ocean State. Okay, so right after Ocean State Nationals, we actually lost to SES. And then SES, I think, lost to JPM. So that was the first and the last time that SES beat CJB or beat Team Elite, Team CJB in that. And I'll never forget this. We talk about Trevor doing crazy things, right? And we talk about Trevor doing just wild stuff. And it's tied up. He's going against Brian Plimple. What do you think Brian Plimple is going to do?
It's a back fist.
Exactly. What do you think Trevor's going to do?
He's gonna axe kick or he's gonna round kick.
He did a ridge hand into a split.
I did hear about this.
I'll never forget. I'm like, what was that, Trev? What?
So he did the ridge hand and then just
went into
dropped?
Yeah, like boom, like it was beautiful, but it was late, compared to the back fist's gonna hit first. So it was just one of those weird things, man. But I'll never forget that tournament. It was just a lot of fun. The finals was different than before. Of course, there's even more with that event with Raymond versus Jason and Don, walking out of the event being mad at Boyce, all kinds of things like that. That event was just, but it was fun. I love those type of events where you get the best of like both worlds, right? Colliding, right? You get some from Europe, you get that. And that's something that Ocean State has always done well, is bringing together people from different areas, they always got a lot of people from Canada that come down to support. They'll bring some different people from other countries. You have JPM, you have, Straight Up, you have all of these teams. Conroy's always going to have a team there, So it's going to be huge this year. And so, like we all said, competitors, go out and support them because they're putting up the money. They're doing it the right way. So go out and support them.
It's going to be a fun experience, man.
Yep, definitely.
All right, guys. This has been another episode of Inside Scoop with Alex and Jeff. I am Alex Dingman.
I'm Jeff Doss. See you guys next week. Have a blessed one, guys.
Wait, time out. We cannot go back. Guys, I haven't made my Super Bowl prediction.
Oh, God, we forgot. Oh, my gosh.
I have not yet made my Super Bowl prediction. So, all right, here it comes. If anybody doesn't know why this is an important thing, this is because ever since the Patriots' first Super Bowl, okay, which was the 2001 season, right? So what is this now? 3 years, something like that?
Yeah.
All right. Every single team I have picked, like, this team's going to win. They have lost every single year. Because in that year, let's just go back. Let's just talk about it. All right. The Patriots at that time, they were going against the best show on turf. They shouldn't even have been in that Super Bowl. Right?
No, the Raiders should have.
The Raiders should have been there. Yeah. Why the heck would I pick the Patriots over the best show on turf? Right? Would have never happened. Right? No. Same with everybody else. Right?
All right, go ahead.
Went down the line. Right? But the Patriots lost a couple, which means I didn't just hate them, because I picked them too. Right? Anyway. It doesn't get right. Just can't get right, boss. Right?
All right. So you gonna try? Who you gonna
this year? No, I won't mess around. Some people ask me like, "Well, what do you think the point spread's gonna be?" I don't no idea what that is.
No.
All right. I just like, this is the team I like. All right. So if you have any kind of money that's worth something to you, take what I'm saying, run to the bank with the opposite. All right. So this year, between the Eagles and the Chiefs, I'm going with the Chiefs.
All right.
So
cool.
Kansas City fans, if there's any here, you can be happy with me, mad at me. I don't know. Happy that I picked your team. Maybe mad that I picked your team. I don't know. Same thing with Eagles fans. I don't know. But you know how it goes. I pick a team. That team doesn't win. But I'm picking the Chiefs. That's where I'm going with.
All right. Going to go get my money.
All right. Go get it. All right. We're out.
We're out.